Welcome back, everyone, to another segment of the MCR. Mac and me. My name's TJ. In this segment, we're going to discuss the situation involving Pete Hegseth. There's an accusation, and the accusation's not good. The accusation involves his advances, unwanted advances, to include, it appears he had a one-nighter with this individual. It's not good. Oh, and here's the thing about this. I'm hearing that the Trump team got caught flat-footed on this accusation, and they're not happy about it. Okay,
Well,
I know
I wouldn't imagine they would be.
uh, I guess I don't know what the vetting process is, other than, and I'm just going to say, hey, they might ask, is there anything we need to be aware of? And he might have said, well, I had this or that or this or that, failing to mention this, and now we're stuck with that.
Well, if it's the case, shame on him, because a police report indicates, and he knows this. He's been involved. He's been around politics. He knows that that's a problem.
Yeah. And as far as exactly the details of the police report, Megyn Kelly got a copy of the police report with redactions, and the redactions, and they redacted names of individuals that were somehow might have been involved, whether it be the name of the woman's husband or whether it be the name of the clerk, or people who might be witnesses that said, hey, I saw this or that. Those were the types of redactions. As far as date and times, they're all pretty solid. And the irony here is Megyn Kelly going through this police report from top to bottom. And I would really suggest, if you want to know the full skinny on what happened, or at least the police report, listen to the Megyn Kelly podcast. And I think she talked about it Thursday and Friday of last week, which would make it, the 21st and the 22nd of November podcasts. Okay, giving you guys an idea of when and where to look. Okay. And Megyn Kelly's a lawyer, and she appears to be pretty competent at being a lawyer. Okay. And to use Megyn Kelly's words, this ain't good. It's embarrassing. And if the fact of whether or not he did it, if that's what dictates whether or not he ought to be confirmed, she says he ought to be confirmed. Okay.
Well, accusations are a dime a dozen. Here's the thing: unless President Trump went to Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, and said, "Who do you want on my cabinet?" They're not going to be happy with anybody. And clearly, there are women out there for hire who will say anything. I mean, like Dr. Blasey Ford, who went out and called witnesses who said what she accused Brett Kavanaugh of doing didn't happen, her own witnesses. You got a woman accusing Trump who can't remember what year he raped her in. And we can go down a long list. I won't bore anybody with that, but this is not uncommon. They're just going to get these people to come out and say he did this, that, and the other thing. Fill in the blank on the nominee.
Yeah, Megyn Kelly, she admits to theorizing. She goes, I'll tell you what I think happened. And she bases this off of the statement her husband made in the police report. Okay? So because of what the husband said in this Monterey police report, Megyn Kelly concludes that maybe the husband suspected something was up, something wasn't right, and in an effort to save her marriage, the woman making the accusation, in an effort to save her marriage, that's what Megyn Kelly said.
I'm sure this is the first time this has ever happened.
And, I guess I'm glad Megyn, a female trained attorney, is the one saying it, because if a guy said something like that, I could hear the feminists out there ranting and raving. You know what I'm saying?
Rant and rave no matter what you do.
Yeah. So, but the bottom line is, Megyn Kelly doesn't believe it happened. Yes, he was drunk. Yes, it appears to have been and the least a one-nighter, with a married woman, and then it turns into a he said, she said. The hotel clerk said she didn't look drunk. The husband said that when she returned to the room, and the reason why I'm saying return to the room, I guess the hotel where this happened, her husband and children were staying there. She just happened to be, I guess I guess she was the handler of Hegseth for some kind of meeting that was being conducted at this particular hotel,
Okay.
wherever this hotel was. Okay. So when she returns to the room, the husband in his own statement said she she didn't act drugged or drunk or anything other than, oh, sorry, I fell asleep. And I just now woke up. And so, and you even,
Well, I
and
would
I,
ask you, if it were my wife, my first question is, where did you fall asleep?
he did ask her that way.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into the details of the police report, but
Well,
that's what I'm saying. One of the things that probably saved Hegseth is the statement by the husband, you
so
know,
he's refuting her story.
and
Well,
that's
he's
why, and that's
there's
why that's why Megan Kelly suspected that she did this. Like, oh, I got marital problems. I got to save it somehow.
well, maybe
That's
maybe she has marital problems because she's out sleeping with other men.
I don't know, but and Megan Kelly said, hey, I'm just speculating here, but
Well, yeah, because we don't know the people involved, and we're not going to slander them, But
but like that's and this is why I said, if you're really that curious as to the accusation and the details of the accusation, you got to listen to this Megan Kelly podcast, uh, and she reads it from top to bottom, okay, and and when she gets to the husband's statements, and she goes, "This is it right here. This is why he wasn't charged." When she got to what the husband was telling the police in the interview, she goes, "I can see why they didn't charge him now."
well, here's the
Wow.
question. I think a tell will be this. If they drag this woman out into these confirmation hearings, you're going to know it's bullshit.
The bottom line is he's in a thicket, and whether or not this is going to be enough to submarine his nomination, the deep state's already against him, and this is the last thing you need, man.
Well,
You know?
at best, I think that we're going to see 50 votes for someone to get confirmed because Mitch McConnell is an obstructionist, and Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski are in the tank with the Democrats. All they
Yeah.
have to do to get those two to vote against any Trump nominee is to make some kind of sex charge or female abuse charge or anything like that. And those two they're going to vote with the Democrats. And you know what? I'd like to see those two just kick the hell out of the Republican Party. If you're going to be a Democrat, then be one.
In wrap up here, because I pretty much said my piece in wrap up, there just wasn't enough evidence to substantiate the woman's accusation. That's why no charges were brought. And
Well,
shame on her. It's a crying shame she could do this and get away with it. You
well, there's
know?
no consequences.
Yeah. Uh,
You can falsely accuse people in this country, and you pretty much get away with it, unless he
and
files a civil suit against her.
well, and one of the problems here, Hegseth does admit to paying her off, and Megan Kelly has to wonder if maybe that wasn't done because he was worried about because he had just gotten hired by Fox, okay,
Well, yeah,
and he thought, oh my gosh, when Fox hears about this, I'm going to get fired, you know.
sure. And then any career he had in mind with that is done.
Yep. So there is so I said, if you want the full skinny, listen to the Megan Kelly podcast. All right. I listened to it twice. All right. And yeah, that's all I got for this. If you got anything else there, Mac?
No.
All right, we'll call this one a wrap, and we'll catch you in the next segment. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.